This is episode 62 of I Know What You Watched Last Week, Halloween edition. Not just because it's the season, but also because of the movie. How do you follow Halloween? With Halloween 2.
Yeah, except we didn't actually do a review of Halloween on this, so...
Well, when did I say we did?
No, I was just wondering why you decided for this episode to go straight into number 2.
Because everyone's done Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah, save it for another time. Let's go for Halloween 2. We have 1981, and I've had it on quite a lot, so you should have no problems recollecting absolutely everything about the film. I've been falling asleep to it, so if you woke up at 1 a.m, TV's on. What's on? Halloween 2. I've woken up at 3 a.m. What's on? TV. Halloween 2. Only went off at 5 a.m. when it's more morning time, and then it's time for comedy.
Yeah, and, it's clearly been influencing me whilst I've been sleeping, because I just picked this out of my wardrobe this morning. I thought the colour was flattering.
Do you know, 'tis the season where traditionally, not just a nurse, you'd be, a slutty nurse. So that's a bit of a letdown.
So this hospital gown, which I'm wearing in honour of Laurie Strode in Halloween 2, but I also used last year as part of my Halloween costume selection to be a zombie apocalypse survivor.
So is that what this is from?
Yeah.
Mm.
But, it's a pretty easy costume, and I thought it's perfect for today. But I noticed yet again, I've given the people what they want with a Halloween costume, and here you are representing the other side.
I'm like, I think Zeke wears a hoodie at some point in faculty, so that's who I am.
You're just
because you
you're a
couldn't guess
psychopath.
it. Just because you couldn't guess it.
Yeah, exactly.
Zeke's not a psychopath.
No, but you're just a psychopath because you don't dress up, so you're just, undetectable. You're a psychopath. So I have a feeling that you want to take charge
I always
of this
take charge.
episode. But this one in particular, right?
And I think you should. I think you should run things.
It's going to be very short, ladies and gentlemen.
Halloween 2. Jamie Lee Curtis is back as Laurie Strode. Donald Pleasance is back as Dr. Loomis. And Charles Cyphers is back as Sheriff Brackett, even though he's done with the movie after about 20 minutes, something like that. Mm-hmm. Halloween 2 picks up straight after Halloween ends. What do you think about that?
I really like that, actually.
I really like that.
I really like it. Yeah, that's a tick from me. No, I think it's great because it kind of makes it feel like a theatre show where it's just like, oh, the first one was just the first act. Now it's half time. And then you come back and it just picks right up.
Is half time the terminology in theatre as well, like football? It's half time in theatre. Everyone going to get some juice.
Some juice.
Have a stretch.
That's super random. And also it's a bit like Heathen, because Heathen will be presented as 2 separate films, but technically you say that the storyline just follows straight through, right?
Yeah, even though we go 100 years into the future in the second one. And present day, and into the past, so it's all over there. It's everywhere.
Well, in this one...
Timelines.
I mean, poor Laurie, because she's been through enough in the first movie, and the evening isn't even over.
No, but what about poor Michael? He's got to go walking around stalking.
That's why he has this steady pace.
He wears boots. That can't be kind to the feet. He's going to see a good podiatrist.
That's why he walks so slowly, though.
He walks exceptionally slowly in this one.
It's just, keep slow and steady wins the race.
Especially in this one. Do you notice he's even slower in this one? Like I said, probably because it's a follow-on straight from number 1. He's tired. He's already done a lot of stalking.
He's got some blisters.
Done a lot of stabbing. Yeah. Did you enjoy... So I've said we picked up as soon as Halloween finishes. But we get a nice little recap beforehand. First of all, do you enjoy recaps at the beginning of particularly horror movies, I suppose?
If they're good, yeah. If the original film they're recapping was any good, then sure.
Because, Hellraiser 2 has the recap of Hellraiser. This has the recap of Halloween. But stuff from different angles, like Michael Myers falling off of the balcony because he shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times.
I had never noticed before we watched this movie this week.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Myers, as he's being shot at repeatedly and he's backing towards the railing of the balcony, apparently the balcony and the railing are all an optical illusion because he just keeps walking back without lifting his knees any higher, and all of a sudden he's on top of the railing.
Well,
I found that quite impressive.
One of Michael Myers' powers is that he can teleport, but only from here to
So you can't see it, but all of a sudden he's just...
Yeah, because Michael Myers does have powers. And you'll notice them throughout this movie.
You will. The other thing I appreciated in this, which I'd only just noticed and found
Apart
funny,
from balcony climbing,
was the great outline left on the grass. It looked like something from Scary Movie.
Well, he's a heavy character.
I'm not saying I didn't like it, but it is funny.
Did we have an imprint in the grass at the end of the first one?
I'm trying to remember. I think we must have done, but it didn't seem as...
I don't watch them
I've
as
never
much
noticed it. Whereas
But
this
there was
time
a
I really
definite
noticed it.
Definite imprint for this one.
Yeah.
So he's part on the pounds for Halloween. He must weigh, what, 300 pounds?
And he made
leaving
like
that?
a perfect imprint and then got up and left without making any more smudges.
Yeah.
Because that would ruin the effect.
At the beginning, in this recap, we also see Dr. Loomis brandishing his gun, and as he says, "I shot him 6 times." So he shot him 6 times off the balcony.
Sounded a bit Arnie-ish there.
Yeah, I was trying to do his voice earlier on. I was like, it just comes out foreign every single time. So, I shot him 6 times. Does Michael Myers have a bulletproof vest, or is he just otherworldly? Or is it just the ritual of Thorn?
He's got to be otherworldly. So
you're just going by number 6. Everything can be explained away in number 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
But even Loomis in this is like, he's not human, he's pure evil.
Yeah.
So, and there's another instance later on in this film where I'm like, oh, see, there's that superhuman touch coming in again.
Sam Hain.
What?
Not Sam Hain then, no?
No.
Right. So you're going with not bulletproof vest.
No.
So you're saying then that from number 1 all the way through to at least number 6, that they knew what they were doing. And it was always going to end up with Michael Myers being cursed by the ritual of Thorn.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because this film, to me, quite clearly is, right, that's the end of the play now. You've had both halves of the show.
No, you're right. You really are seeing the theatrics in this.
I think it's over at the end of this.
Half time. So Dr. Loomis, he's running around. He also tells the neighbour as well, just before we get the credits, the opening credits of the camera coming in on the pumpkin, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Loomis brags to the neighbour, "I shot him 6 times."
Is he bragging? Is that what
he's bragging? And then he runs away. He's like, "You don't know what death is," and runs away into the night like a bit of a weirdo.
He does come across as a
very strange doctor.
Unhinged.
He's a very strange doctor. And I was wondering, because he is a doctor, could he not just prescribe himself some Valium, because he's very, very excited in this one. "I shot him 6 times! 6 times!" We hear that a lot. He's a gangster. He's a gangster. He pops off whenever he feels like it.
Well, I guess it's his choice between, do I try and chase down this monster, or do I relax with some Valium? It's a valid question, but I think we know what answer he chose.
Someone else should be prescribing him Valium, possibly, though. What do you think about that?
How about just a nice bit of marijuana?
Dr. Loomis
chill out, mate.
Should be bunning away.
I shot him 6... Dude, I shot him like... I think it was 6 times?
I don't know, maybe 5, I don't know.
Counting.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be pretty good. That's a good movie right there. Loomis High. High Loomis. Rick Rosenthal directed this. Right, it's not followed on.
Rick Rouse.
But not Rick Rouse, the boss. No, not him. Not him.
Oh God, we haven't even said my absolute favourite thing in this entire movie, followed closely by possibly the most perfection breasts I've ever seen.
Glad you noticed
is
that.
In the opening credits, someone involved in this production is called Skip Skulnick.
Skip Skulnick.
I loved that.
Sounds like a name from Scooby-Doo episode.
It's great.
Skip Skulnick, yeah. So, not Rick Ross, but Rick Rosenthal directed this.
Right.
John Carpenter comes back as writer. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure he got an exec producer credit or something like that. And also comes back with his music. Mm-hmm. But him and Rick Rosenthal didn't get on when Ricky Rosenthal completed this movie. John Carpenter said it was about as scary as an episode of Quincy M.E. That's Medical Examiner. Quincy the Medical Examiner. Rick Rosenthal wanted to make something akin to the first one, and like not much gore and all that kind of stuff. Right, it's 1978, it's 1981 now. Stuff like Friday the 13th has come out. Friday the 13th 2 is starting to come out. Everything's getting more gory, more violent. So John Carpenter doesn't know we need to put in, excessive violence and nudity. Stuff like that, because this is what people want now. Rick Rosenthal didn't want any of that. And it turns out all the stuff that it seemed that John Carpenter recorded for this, filmed for it, I enjoy all of it. It's the kind of thing where like he's walking around in the dark and you just get the camera looking around in Michael's point of view, and in the bit where Michael bumps into the kid with the boombox when he's walking towards the hospital. All that kind of stuff. And also getting blown away in both eyes and all the blood coming out. So do you like added gore in Halloween? Is it so that they stooped? Have they stooped to a level there?
The only issue I had with it was that I was a bit confused now as to Michael's motives.
Well, he's got a sister.
Yeah, but he randomly kills some people and doesn't kill a couple, and it just...
Like the old people.
He doesn't kill them.
But he does kill dogs.
But he goes out of his way to kill the nurse and stuff, and it just seems a bit...
Maybe he just saw an opportunity and he took it.
I don't know. I feel like that's a bit...
So you want more consistency in the killings?
I want more consistency in the character, yeah.
If he's going to kill a bunch of people, kill everyone.
Yeah, I just feel like if they were in his way, it would make sense. He's like, just get them out of the way so I can get there. But I don't see why he would go to another floor or something to find someone to kill that wasn't part of his family, who he clearly has an issue with.
Halloween originally, at least in John Carpenter's eyes and Deborah Hill's eyes, was a standalone movie. Wasn't going to be any sequels to it. And by the time the second one was announced, he didn't want anything to do with it. John Carpenter, that is. But people convinced him he should stay involved in some capacity because he felt he hadn't been, rightly rewarded for the success of the first one. Apparently he wasn't even paid a salary, in full kind of thing. But people convinced him to stay involved in the project, so at least be an exec producer or something like this. And he said to producers that he wasn't happy with not being, fully reimbursed for what he did for the first one. So what they did was they jacked up his price just to write this one, and obviously come back to do the music. And probably exec produce as well. And he said all that got him through writing the second one, he said no ideas, was a 6-pack of Budweiser every night. And he ended up calling this movie an abomination, a horrible movie. Would you go that far?
No.
No, it's not horrible.
No,
movie.
It's still a very enjoyable horror film.
Then how do you follow
But I
Halloween?
do feel like it's a big drop-off from
It is a big drop-off. It's a huge drop-off.
Michael's not as, unique. The whole premise isn't... It is kind of pandering a bit more, but I still enjoy how they managed to take the ending of the first one and seamlessly continue it. I think that's a pretty impressive thing to do. I didn't like this being set in a hospital for the whole film.
What, the iconic Haddonfield Memorial
Hospital. Yeah, I just find hospitals so ugly.
Name a more iconic hospital in film history. Exactly, you can't. So you can't diss Haddonfield Memorial Hospital.
As far as hospitals goes, it's fine, because at least it's still got the pumpkins and stuff, which I expect.
Take this hospital gown off in shame.
How dare you? But yeah, no, I find them... It's impossible to make a hospital look nice.
You want it to look nice?
I don't mind some bits looking nice.
I just wanted it to look kind of eerie and threatening, which I think it does. Disconcerting place, empty hospitals. Really good lighting. You can have Michael Myers standing at the end of a hallway, just standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that good stuff. So that's a point against you then if you don't like the hospital. What about, as I said, John Carpenter didn't have an idea for a sequel to Halloween. We end up with this. Because the original idea was that Halloween, they were going to have the Michael Myers movie, which is the first one. After that, it's going to become an anthology series. So you just have a completely different story as number 2, number 3, number 4. That obviously ended up happening for number 3. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a scene where a mother pulls up to the hospital and she's chaperoning her child towards the front door, and he's got glass.
Oh yeah, of course I noticed.
Stuck in his mouth because he's eating that wretched glassed up Halloween candy, that whole urban myth. Razor blades and all that, and that was supposed to be a little inkling, a little look inside of what the next movie was going to be, which it kind of did end up being that. It's the same kind of theme. Halloween gone wrong.
I
for
thought it was just a
children.
really nice way of doing transitions from scene to scene. It really
also is that, but yeah, that was just
really
that's a little
beautiful.
thing that they put in there to allude to what the next one was going to be about.
Well, I loved that, and equally they did certain things.
It's a big bit of glass in his mouth.
It's
seriously
really
big.
grim, that bit, actually, yeah. But they also have a bit where they're, or multiple times I think, when they're sort of shooting someone or something, and then they'll pan down to see the CCTV footage, and again it ties the timeline and everything, makes it so much more seamless. You don't have to suspend belief, like, oh, how is he suddenly in this corridor? I can see it.
We mentioned on a Monster Fam live stream, or at least I mentioned once when we did, I believe, the movie Society, that Billy Warlock from Baywatch, his father played the Shape in this Halloween. Dick Warlock. That's quite a name, isn't it?
That is quite
Dick
a name.
Warlock got the role.
It's no Skip Skulnick, but it's still pretty good.
No Skip Skulnick, Dick Warlock, Skip Skulnick. They could be a team.
Yeah, a duo,
Yeah.
definitely.
He had to wear lifts because he's quite short.
I was going to say, he seems kind of smaller in this.
Yeah, I noticed as well that he's a short Michael.
And I also thought
He's a stuntman originally.
there were
Mr. Dick
moments
Warlock.
in this one where I feel like it could have been slightly better
What could have been
physical
slightly
acting, like Michael, like his actual physicality. I think, for example, in the bit after he takes the knife from the older couple,
better? Yeah.
and I think it's when he's leaving that kitchen, he kind of looks down a bit as he's going out and stuff, and it just doesn't feel very Michael Myers. It feels way too human.
He got the part because he was, like I say, he was a stuntman.
Yeah.
And he was walking around the halls of, I don't know, the Halloween production, whatever, found the mask, popped it on, went into the producer's office and just stood there looking at him. And the producer kept talking to him like, what are you doing here? Who are you? He just didn't move, didn't talk. And took the mask and said, can I play Michael Myers? And apparently that was enough to convince the producer to let him play Michael Myers. No movement, just stand there in your regular clothes looking at me at daytime in the office. Is that good casting?
No. No, it's not.
He ended up, so he's actually wearing the same mask from the first one. But Nick Castle, who played the Shape in the first one, he kept like stuffing the mask in his pocket, like in between takes and things like this. And I think also Deborah Hill, the producer, writer, had it in her house, and she's a heavy smoker, it's got like yellowed and stuff like this. So by the time he's wearing it, it's exactly the same thing, but
That
it
must
looks
stink so
completely
bad.
different. And at the end of Halloween 2, knowing that they were going to do the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch afterwards, they let Dick Warlock take home like the boiler suit, the mask, the knife, the scalpel, the boots, and he ended up selling it in 2003 to some collector. And after that, they vowed that they would never give away any of the props again. So obviously went back to Michael Myers for number 4, had to do a completely new mask, and all the masks are subsequently quite different after that. Do you notice the mask in this one, or was it not something that bothered you too much? What about cinematography? I thought that was nice. I think they've like mimicked the first one.
Yeah,
pretty
like
well.
I said, cinematography.
Dean Cundy doing that.
I thought they did a really good job. I also obviously love John Carpenter's score. Again, simplicity can be so effective.
Yeah, you talk about that, but he's clearly got a different synth for this one. All the add-ons, it's quite different, I believe, and I know it's very different because what have I got down here? If you ever want to get the party started, synth style, is Halloween 2 on vinyl. That's an original. Do you want to hold that now? Because I really like the music from number 2, so that's number 2. This is also number 2. Look, it's a nurse. It's Michael Myers with a nurse's hat on.
Does that count as slutty nurse?
With no, not the kind of one I want anyway. And yeah, with blood coming out of his face. That one's pretty cool. Got stuff on the back as well. And I've got another one as well with Loomis here and Michael. That's all Halloween 2. So if you ever need to listen to it, don't hesitate to ask. Yeah, you can take that now. Just want to hold them up for the rest of the show so that people can see. So before we move on, will you be getting party started after this? To Cynthia Halloween 2? Because you say you like it.
Can I get some Valium?
I'm sure that can be arranged. We live in a major city. Valium is probably rife.
Alright. I'll channel
Yeah.
Dr. Loomis.
Dick Warlock, though, once we get into the hospital...
The hospital.
Yeah, we've only had. When we go to the kill list here, so we've got Alice on the phone before Michael gets to the hospital, and she's been filled in about everything that's been going on.
Yeah. So was she in Michael Myers' old house? Did she live there? Is that why he killed her? Because that was the first thing. I was like, wait, why has she been killed?
I wasn't really thinking about why he's killing people. I just want to see him kill people.
I was thinking about it. Yeah.
So Alice on the phone, and then she's stabbed. Mm-hmm. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Out of 10?
7.
7. All right. Also, before we get into the hospital, when all hell is breaking loose around town, and we see Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode being stretchered out and stuff like this, we've got Dr. Loomis talking to one of the deputies, and out in the road or on the pavement, he sees this person coming towards him in the distance, in the darkness, wearing a boiler suit and a white mask, draws his gun. And this guy, called him Fake Michael Myers, ends up being hit by a police car at speed, smash into an ambulance, and then an explosion happens. That's the end of fake blonde-haired Michael Myers.
I was going to
That's
say,
the action
did
movie-ish,
the
wasn't
blonde
it?
hair not, give it away a bit?
It was dark. It was dark.
And he was walking way too fast.
Too
Michael.
fast for Dick Warlock's Michael, yeah? Okay, so they're not noticing these things. Maybe it's because he's so scrambled because of what's been going on that he didn't notice the blonde hair. But yeah, how about that being rammed into an ambulance and exploded?
Yeah.
Sounds more like, Expendables 5, doesn't it?
It's very much glossed over, even when his two friends come and be like, oh, he's missing and he was wearing a mask and stuff. We know. I mean, how devastating for that
who?
family.
Fake Michael Myers family?
Yeah.
Do you think about, much like in Austin Powers, when you think about the henchman's family?
Well, yeah. Sometimes.
Hmm.
It's just an innocent 17-year-old boy who's dead.
Once we're introduced to our hospital staff, we've got Bud. There's kind of like a sleazy ambulance driver. What we've got in this, I'm going by Bud, but the characters seem more like characters from, say, Friday the 13th Part 4 style than something that's following quite a serious movie beforehand.
I thought Laurie's love interest, the other ambulance guy.
Yeah, the younger ambulance guy, yeah.
He is really cute.
With the fro.
He's really, yeah.
He's
I could
cute.
see that, definitely.
So you think they should have carried on a love interest there?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it seemed like they really
That's a
liked each other,
missed
considering they don't know each other.
Opportunity.
And I didn't really like the sleazier...
Bud.
Yeah.
Bud's who's with Karen, who succumbed to their fates during the whirlpool scene, as I'll call it. What do you like about that?
Well, Karen's a very, very naughty nurse. She arrives late.
She does arrive late.
She's supposed to be looking after the babies, but she goes, I think she says, a floor down to the whirlpool room. And also that whirlpool is quite noisy. So even when she's like, oh, I could hear if the baby's crying, I don't think she could. So she's just abandoned her work as a night nurse for these babies to go and have some hanky-panky in a whirlpool that's meant to be rehabilitating. With Bud, also, Bud is punching.
Yeah, how is Bud? How have they
How
put
has he
Bud?
done that?
Well, the guy that plays Bud, Leo Rossi, apparently he begged for the role, and the director Rick Rosenthal had to, what do they call it, go to bat for him to get him the role. Because how has he pulled Karen?
Yeah, I think it's not even the character that I don't like. I
She
just
has
don't like
generational
the casting
breasts.
either. Wowza, those breasts. Mm-hmm. I considered being gay for a moment there. I was like, those are some exquisite breasts.
Tonight we'll be watching Halloween 2 Whirlpool Edition.
So the whirlpool death, not of Bud, of Karen.
Have you seen a better pair of breasts in movies than
No,
those?
I've said this already, Don. So now it's been said. Let's move on.
I had a whole portion just on the boobs.
That will be interesting for half our audience. Anyway, this was the bit that
Non-boob
made me
lovers.
notice that Michael is clearly superhuman.
Right. Well,
Because as he's repeatedly drowning her in this boiling hot water and her face starts peeling, his hand is totally fine.
yeah, that was one of my questions. Does Michael Myers have heat-proof skin?
I think he's just got elevated everything, clearly. He can take some bullet... I mean, he gets shot in the head twice, apparently.
Once again,
And he survives.
is it just the ritual thorn? right, which makes you immune to death and gives you supernatural powers and strength. Is that what it is? They knew what they were doing in the second one. I was like, look, we're just going to explain this away in number 6. That's what Mustafa Akkad was thinking. Yoan Abwans. Owen Yablans. I've got his name wrong. Owen Yablans.
Yeah, well, they just like to add explanations to stuff, don't they? It's just like in this one, where they add the whole, why has he gone after Laurie?
What about Bud getting killed in silence before Karen goes? He's
Yeah.
behind the screen, and then Michael comes in, and she thinks that it's Bud.
Yeah, she starts suggestively chewing and licking on his fingers. And I was like, I don't know for a fact what Michael Myers' hygiene levels are like, but I can only imagine that would be some very flavoured finger she's putting in her mouth
But
there.
if you are possessed by a demon / entity attached to the curse of the ritual of Thorn, are you just you don't have a smell? Do demons smell?
I don't know, but his hand looked pretty filthy, so I was like...
At this point, I've got to imagine they didn't know they were going to do that with number
Do
6.
you
So
think
he probably
he got
should
turned
smell.
on?
We also had this discussion once on the Monster Fam Live, and I believe it was Chunky Code Monkey said that he definitely believes that
He's a
Michael
sexual
gets sexual. Yeah, I don't see it myself.
No.
No, he's got other things on his mind. He's more turned on by like knives, and scalpels, pitchforks, anything that he can stab people with. Then again, stabbing. Yeah. Yeah, so does he then have... Does he have heat-proof skin?
Possibly.
So
It's a possibility.
to make it realistic, I've got to say that he's wearing a bulletproof vest. He's not supernatural. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. That's why I didn't buy it from the bullet wounds. And yeah, he's got heat-proof skin. So yeah, let's move on from that.
How does a bulletproof vest protect his being shot through the face?
Well, we're not on that bit yet. I've got a question about that too. The next thing I'd written was the setting, but you've already covered that, how you don't like it, how you hate Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. Now, I sewed up the vinyls. I've got Halloween 1 to 5 on 4K. I've never seen it so clearly. And on the front of that, he's standing in front of Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. That's how iconic it is. And are you just dissing it?
It's quite nice as far as hospital goes, but it's still a hospital.
While we're in the hospital, we're seeing action in the hospital, but Loomis is still outside. He's driving around with the cop, and he's trying to get his, as I said, he's a bit loopy, he needs Valium, he needs to calm down a little bit, because he's still going, I shot him 6 times! And then when he's in the car...
He's begging for a scary movie character, isn't he?
Yeah. And when he's in the car with the cop, he like tells her, oh no, I've just heard that we need to go to the hospital or something like this. So he tells him he better turn around, go to hospital, and the cop's like, I don't take orders from you, doctor. So of course, then what happens is Loomis pulls out his piece and he's like, pull over, mofo, before I blow you away.
That's exactly what he says.
Loomis, bitch. And he shoots a window out. Did you enjoy the gangster...
What does it you people do? Fire a warning shot?
Is Dr. Loomis... Do you enjoy the gangster Loomis edge that they gave in this one?
It
You know,
fits
it
with
also
his
says that he
slight
never leaves
nuttiness.
home without it.
Yeah, he feels safer with it, except I don't really know why, because it seems kind of useless against the one person he wants to use on. Mind you, he's only just found that out tonight, and old habits die hard, so...
Yeah, it's not like he was shooting on a daily basis when they were having
No, exactly, that's what I'm
sessions
saying.
and
He's
stuff
only
like
just
that.
noticed that, I shot him 6 times, and he's still alive.
A guard, unfortunately, I think before the Whirlpool death was also, he goes around looking into suspicious
He's definitely
noises.
shown to be a bit of a bumbler, isn't he?
And he gets a hammer to the head. And he gets hung later on. Do you like that?
Yeah, but again, did you say it was John Carpenter who said that this was not scary, this film?
Mm-hmm.
And I can see
No,
that. Even
as
though
scary as Quincy Medical Examiner.
there was,
So I've got to check that out now.
there was definitely less tension in this one for me, even though there's more gore, which is normally you should think it'd be the other way around.
But that's the way it goes.
But again, it's the same like with Bud's death, with the Hammerhead death. Like they're all kind of, it's like, okay, yeah, we saw enough to know what has happened, but you don't see that much. It's not like we see his head split open or anything, which would have been cool.
Okay, we've seen
That
the
would've been
opening
cool.
stabbing. We've seen the fake Michael Myers.
But even
Yeah,
like
we've seen
the
the
other
two in the
nurse who
whirlpool, we've
gets stabbed
seen
in
him.
the back, like
We're not there yet.
It's insinuated, but there's not much actual, like, gore.
What about this death? There's a nurse walking around looking for Dr. Mixter. And she comes into his office and he's facing his fish tank with his back to her in his chair. And she's like, Dr. Mixter? Dr. Mixter? She finally gets close to him, touches him, and he swings around on his chair and he's got a needle, a syringe to the head. And then out the shadows behind her comes
Looked
Michael
like it was in his
Myers
eye.
with his mask. And then
Yeah.
she gets a syringe in her head. That was my favourite one. Because of the appearance of Michael
mine's
Myers.
the hot tub
You like the hot
therapy
tub
pool.
death?
Yeah, definitely.
heat-proof
That's the
skin.
most, like, actually gory.
Is that because it was opening your eyes up as to what powers Michael Myers has as well? You're like, oh look, his skin's not melting off his
No,
hands.
but it might have been the breasts.
That's why we're watching Whirlpool Edition tonight.
But, and also, it's little things like the blood in this is so red.
Yeah, a nurse is drained of all of her blood.
Yeah, that's the moment that I was thinking of now.
And then the guy that you wish Jamie Lee Curtis got with, Laurie Strode, he slips in it and knocks himself
He
out.
slips and gets knocked out. Yeah, but again, it's like it didn't look anywhere near real. That blood looked
Yeah.
so fake.
It's like paint.
Yeah,
Like a child's paint.
Again, that takes away some of the fear factor.
You mentioned as well the blonde nurse that gets stabbed in the back and lifted.
These
until
nurses' outfits, by the
until
way,
her shoes fall
are
off. Oh, what?
very nice.
Nice as in, oh, they care about their employees.
Well, they're all perfectly fitted. They look great. Yeah, I'd wear that outfit.
Just as a
And
general
also,
day-to-day
we
thing.
didn't mention. You've already mentioned Dr. Mixter's dead, but
Dr. Mixed Master
when
Paco.
he first gets introduced before you even see him, 2 seconds
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, I think he's a bit drunk. He's just come from the country club. It's such a tiny thing, but I did enjoy that little extra.
That would have been John Carpenter's writing there, then, that you're enjoying.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the little things in this. Again, it's the same like you mentioned you like the bit where the kid with a boombox and Michael bumps into him. And
That's how then Michael finds out that he has to go to the hospital.
Exactly.
You have to listen out for these things.
That was a nice touch throughout this film, again, that it's like you have to pay enough attention if you want to know, oh, I see, he got it from there and that's because of that.
That was also a reshoot by John Carpenter of that whole scene, which is one of my favourite ones, in the parking lot before naughty nurse Karen is going to drop off her friend, and then we see Michael coming towards the guy.
Michael's a big eavesdropper in
little
this
kid.
as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
always
got to
just
listen out.
lurking around, listening. Oh, what's the plan?
He would make
okay.
a good detective. Maybe he should just hand himself in and say, look, I know I've done bad, but I know a lot.
But he'd have to speak to do that. He doesn't talk, does he?
Remember that time quite recently? It was in August, I believe. We were in the pub locally, and we ordered 2 drinks, and the guy just...
Yeah, I didn't say where the entire time. That was so bizarre.
That was weird.
That was Michael moving on with his life
And then,
without the mask.
I thought maybe it was just me, but then I lurked. I lurked and just saw how he'd
So you turned into Michael.
how he serves the next person, and again just mute. Very bizarre. John Carpenter didn't have any real idea for a sequel, but he came up with this. He was going to go into the anthology. Would you say now that after we've had really the logical conclusion is kind of Halloween H20, almost, if you're gonna carry on after this, right? It should have stopped maybe at H20, but then you got Halloween Resurrection, hiya! And then you got 5 remakes, should I say? Rob Zombie's 2, and then the next 3. Are we at the point where John Carpenter was after number 1, and we've got everything we can out of Michael Myers, and we should now be going to anthology? Because you still have the Halloween name. Over time, everyone now loves number 3, whereas originally, like, oh, I don't like it because Michael Myers not in it.
Yeah, it's just such a change to what you're expecting, I suppose, isn't it?
But where can you take Michael Myers now? Unless you go the Ritual of Thorn route, which could go a whole load of places, and it would be awesome. We'll bring back Paul Rudd.
I mean,
We'll bring back Daniel Harris.
I do feel like even the second installment is pushing it a little bit.
Well, John Carpenter's also, he's like, all right, I can't end it the first one, I'm going to end it the second one. So he's essentially killed off Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis by the end.
Yeah, well, yeah. Dr. Loomis explodes himself. Somehow Myers survives it, but then he does eventually succumb to the flame.
Wait, have we got everything we can get out of Michael Myers? You know, if I watch Halloween, I'm happy with watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Is there anywhere else you can go?
Even the second
We've
one
already had 2 lots of remakes.
is a bit silly, but because they so seamlessly connected it to the first film. I'll let that one pass. Let's add that. So we've got 1 and 2.
Then you get a break from
and
number
then
3.
the next Michael Myers one that I think
The
was
Return.
a good concept and should have its place is H20 when we see Laurie as an adult.
Yeah, you got to see Laura as an adult.
Yeah,
That was the
I
best.
loved that. But honestly, like I said, I think even number 2 is kind of pushing it in silliness terms, and that's not what the first film is like at all. So
What about
it seems pointless to me.
if they just go down the whole ritual of Thorn? What if you just have different... You can have different timelines. I mean, this is the movie, so if you want to pick up after the recent 3, go and do that. If you want to pick up after number 1, go and do that. If you want to pick up after number 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, do that. What do you think about that? There are different universes of different Michael Myerses. It's just called retconning, really. When they did the first, they were saying David Gordon Green remake, Halloween 2017, 18, whatever year it was. Originally, the whole Laurie Strode being Michael Myers' adopted sister was a tacked on thing. John Carpenter never really wanted it, so he said when they exec produce that and do this, it's like, let's just get rid of the whole sister thing. So if you can just like chop and change whenever you want, I thought the sisters made perfect sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense as well, even though it does feel a bit like, oh, well, we're making a second film. We need to expand on something in the first one.
Did you enjoy the way?
Like a great way
Did you
to do
enjoy the way
but...
it was done through exposition? Wait a minute, that's his sister. Yeah, essentially like that. Yeah.
You never knew, Dr. Loomis. It was hidden. But, and it gives the motivation as to why he's so relentlessly hunting Laurie down. But then, does that not also, that kind of messes with the thing? So you know how I complained in this one that I don't feel like Michael has a clear to kill or not to kill decision thing. So if Laurie was just random, unrelated person, but he'd set his sights, well, she got away, so I need to finish her, that would make more sense that he's just like, he just randomly decides who gets to live and who he wants to off.
You just said to kill or not to kill. That is the question. Do you think that he asked himself that? Because, you know, you've already bemoaned the fact he didn't off those 2 oldies. Do you think he is to kill or not to kill? And he like puts his knife up to his chin.
Well, like I said, it would make the
What about
most sense
Thinking Man's Michael
if he's just killing those who get in his way for his end goal. That makes the most sense. He's got no remorse. But I also feel like it doesn't make sense for him to go out of his way to kill people, especially if you're giving us the backstory of he's killing Laurie because it's a family member.
You just briefly alluded to the file that they kept hidden from Dr. Loomis. Do you think they kept that away from him because it might have sent him over the edge and they've seen him, you know, pop with gap before and they didn't want to run the risk?
No.
Or was it a different reason?
It's a different reason.
Right. Gone through pretty much all the killings, right? When it gets to the end of the movie,
Get me.
and we have Michael Myers stalking Laurie Strode, who's been kind of like crawling along the floor,
Of course,
pathetically,
yeah.
and things like that. And Dr. Loomis has shown up, and they end up in this room. I'll call it the gas room. What else is
Okay.
it? Right, the gas room, where it all ends. And when Laurie's on the floor, she gets given Dr. Loomis's gangster gun. She ends up popping him off in both eyeballs.
What, like...
Does
How is she such
Michael
good
Myers have bulletproof eyeballs?
aim? No.
Because he can see again later on. Not in this one, but in number 4 you can see.
Yeah, again, which is dumb. But then again, I mean, they've literally shot him through both eyes in this, and yet he's still... Apart from, you can't see anymore, obviously. I mean, it's shot in the eyes, but he can still do everything else.
So he does have kind of bulletproof eyes, but it does blind him, though, so he can survive.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the blind... But
The
what?
38 swipes with the scalpel.
It was silly. It's so silly.
Well, that's something that John Carpenter added on, was the shots in the eyeballs.
And why did he give up going after Laurie? Which, by the way, it feels like he had to go out of his way not to get her in that situation. But why did he give up going for her when he's like, oh wait, there's some gas? Let me go towards the gas.
She's referring to gas, if that's what if you didn't get that. And
There's gas?
well, that's the way that you get him. Get him by gas. Maybe he can't hear because of the mask. It's covering his ears.
He's like, oh, that's
So
Laurie.
he has
oh, wait,
all these
there's
other
gas
powers.
behind me. Let me turn around and leave Laurie and go and...
Well, the man's been locked in an institute for, I don't know, 17 years or something
Laurie
like this,
turns
20
on some
years.
gas and then he goes towards that gas.
Yeah, follow the gas.
He likes gas.
No, he doesn't like gas. He just, someone's over there clearly because they must have turned on the gas, so I've got to follow that gas. Yeah.
See, I just don't think he is much of a thinker. It's pure reaction.
What about, so there's, Dr. Loomis is releasing the gas. Not from his own body. You're so childish, right? He's opened the valve, and he says to Michael, it's time. Or it's time, Michael. And he kicks out a lighter, and he blows them both away.
Yeah.
What do you do nowadays? Because you just put out a vape, and then you don't get to have that plan. So that's just another reason why to smoke real shit, so that you can make yourself somewhat serial killer
proof. Or just walk around with, I mean, in this case it was a lighter, but I think a box of matches it's more
box
cinematic.
matches are unreliable. Remember we didn't have a lighter that time? We took out a box of matches and kept going out in the wind, and they would snap.
They were crappy, cheap matches. They weren't the branded stuff.
Right. When they're exploded, so obviously in John Carpenter's mind, this is now the end of Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis. But obviously, as we know, that's not the end. They're back, especially number 4. Dr. Loomis has got some scarring to his face. Does he have heat-proof skin? Because that was quite an explosion. I imagine all his clothes would have stuck to him under the heat, and they would have had to peel it off him, stuff like this. But he's pretty well put together for a guy who's exploded in the gas chamber.
Honestly, from the way they shoot that explosion, the size they make out of it, I'm surprised that even Michael managed to walk out in one piece. Albeit, on fire, but I would have expected to find him just splattered all across that room. It was a massive fire.
But we've already seen what powers Michael has.
Yeah, but how?
Why do you think something's going to explode?
How has Loomis survived that? He even lit the flame. He would have.
Well, I just asked you the question: does he also have heat-proof skin?
No.
Well, I think he does.
So is he actually Michael Myers' dad?
There is in number 4. There is number 5. There is in number 6.
He's passed on the invincibility gene.
No.
This is a whole new story. Dr. Loomis is actually Michael Myers' father.
No.
Michael Myers was never born to the Myers parents, so he thinks that he killed his sister, but. So
clearly, you do want to see more from Michael Myers because you're
now that I've got a great idea,
your own one. Loomis sired Michael Myers. I'm not sure how we're going to get people to get their heads around that, but stranger things have happened, I suppose. Why don't we just put him into space first, put Michael into space first, and then see how people react to that before we start getting really into the intricacies?
I think we should do like a Jason X version with Michael Myers,
That's
and maybe even like a Freddy versus Jason thing.
But in
Myers
space.
versus Jason in space.
Yeah. So take the Freddy versus Jason concept. Put it in space.
And obviously we know that Jason's got the space upgrade, so Michael Myers needs a space upgrade. We'll be in like a shiny silver suit.
We've spoken before about Space Chucky in space. Why don't we just put them all in space? Pinhead's already there, Jason's already there, let's just throw the rest of them up there. Let's get the Tool Man from Phantasm into space.
Okay, but it can't be one of those crappy things where like, oh look, we're all bad guys, so we're going to band together.
What you mean, like Avengers Assemble or something like that, where they just put all the characters
Suicide Squad
in.
Or some shit like that.
Some crap like that, yeah. Yeah, crap.
No, they're still all evil. They have to all be evil.
Yeah, so it would just be Evil in Space. That's a good title?
Yeah, it's a pretty sick title, man. Evil in Space.
And Evil in Space 2.
Eviler in space.
Yeah. Evil in Space 3, Evilist in space.
And you can't go any further than that, though, so...
Well, you turn around evil and spell live in space.
Live in space.
Live in space. So as far as I go slasher sequels, do you like this one? Because think about what slasher sequels you have, right? The batshit craziness of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jason 2, when Jason comes about in a pillowcase. Scream 2. Right? I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah.
Don't know that one as well.
Don't know that one. Yeah, what do you think about this? Because some people are like, this is just crap like the rest of it. Or are you like, no, this is actually quite a good sequel considering all the other ridiculousness?
Well, you kind of have to just go through what we've been talking about for the last, I don't know, hour or so, which is that I think the continuation of the story is really nicely done.
Yeah.
And gives it way more enjoyment for me. But they haven't... It's so, like, stylistically different in terms of the character and, you know, as you said, adding in the gore but taking away the suspense element. It's still an enjoyable movie, but I would definitely be somewhat disappointed with this compared to the first one.
The first time I saw it, I was disappointed. I was like, this is nothing like Halloween in terms of, like no suspense. It's not really a serious movie. It is serious and it's not serious. There is enough tropes in there to make it not serious. Like I say, like the dumbass characters like Bud, for instance, right? What's that song that he sings? Something about someone sitting on his face. Yeah, Amazing Grace, sit on my face. Yeah, something like along those lines. That just wouldn't belong in the first one.
No.
So even as a youngster, when I was seeing this in the second one, I was like, what's going on here? And yeah, it doesn't make you feel it. Even watching it now, it doesn't make me feel. Like I say, I've already mentioned it so many times, but the tension, there's no tension. I just watch it like this, but I still kind of enjoy it.
And also maybe because it picks up directly from the story of the first one, which, like I said, I do like, but it also means that rather than having a bit of a real build-up and a climax and all of this, we've just got a continuous chase scene almost. And I feel like that is what partly takes away a bit of the tension, because you can't just uphold that for the entire movie. And it borders on almost making this a bit boring.
Boring? Well, so you do things about as scary as Quincy Medical Examiner then. You're in the boat with John Carpenter. So Rick Rosenthal, director of this one, he's also directed another Halloween movie. Would you say Halloween 2 is silly?
Compared to the first one, it's definitely bordering on silliness.
Halloween 2 then sillier than Halloween Resurrection? That's the one in the house with Busta Rhymes.
No, it's definitely not.
No. If you could have directed 2 Halloween movies, would they have been Halloween 2 and Halloween Resurrection?
No, I would have done Resurrection for Busta Rhymes.
You would have done what? So you would have kept in the whole kung fu.
Absolutely,
thing.
and then I'd want to direct H20 because of LL Cool J.
So you saying in my timeline thing, could we bring back LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes as like a duo, and we send them to space?
Yeah, or we just take Cool J and Busta Rhymes and put them in our in-space evil movie.
Yeah, that's right. So they're not evil.
No.
Busta Rhymes is not
No,
evil.
as in when we've got all like Pinhead and Michael Myers and Chucky, put them all in space, and we need a human good guy crew.
Wait, so it's all of like Pinhead, Chucky, Leatherface just against LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes?
Well, no, it has to be realistic. There needs to be at least like 5 crew members. But
Okay.
I reckon...
So it's like
Cool
Avengers Assemble in space, but with horror people
Cool
and
J would be
rappers.
like the quiet, intense, serious guy. Buster would be like the, hey, everybody, let's have a laugh and go kill some bitches. Yeah.
This seems like a bit of a stereotypical writing we've got going on here already. I would say that, no, LL Cool J's character, Ronnie, he's simply a security guard. Why is he a thinking man up in space?
Because it's not Ronnie. He's playing a new character.
What, so LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes come back in the Halloween universe as different characters?
But it's not really the Halloween universe, is it?
I've just said it is.
Well, no, that was on your thing. I said, why don't we not do that and put them in the new one?
Busta Rhymes' character, he's a TV executive, so that's what he is in space as well. So we've got a security guard and a TV exec in space up against everybody.
That's dumb.
Well, what, the rest of it wasn't dumb? Are you happy to be watching Halloween 2 for like the next at least couple of days before we move on to number 3? I'm not talking about I know we watched last week, I'm talking about just for home entertainment. Because then we're going to move on to 4 and 5.
Done with it.
he's done with it already.
Yeah.
So you want to move on to number
I
3.
really want to see 3 again. Yeah.
So we'll do number 3 and then quickly 4 and 5. And of course, then we get into Curse of Michael Myers and H20 and Resurrection. And I don't watch the rest of them after that.
There's more?
Yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie's
right,
Halloween
right,
2. I actually like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. The best out of all the remakes. Yeah. So what are you going with was, again, Ritual of Thorn continuation or just anthology stuff from now on?
Anthology.
Yeah, anthology. We don't.
But they should have done that already.
What they should
I feel
do.
like by now it's tarnished.
What they need to do is go back to the original idea of what they were going to do, have it as an anthology, and just pop one anthology Halloween in there, and make people thirst once more for Michael Myers rather than Michael
An anthology
Myers.
thirst trap.
He's back again. Yeah, what's he doing this time? Oh, the same thing. But I only like him doing the same thing for the first 8 movies.
Then I've had enough.
I've had enough, except for a little bit. I've got a little soft spot for Rob Zombie's number 2.
I really thought you were going to say I've got a little sausage for Rob
Because it's
Zombie's.
weird. I've got a little sausage,
little sausage here.
for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
A banger with meal mash.
That wouldn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Why'd I come brandishing a sausage?
A little sausage.
A little one at that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just what I thought you were going to say.
Do you want to put on a Halloween 2 soundtrack tonight and just get crunk?
Absolutely.
Good. Shall we invite anybody?
No.
No, just a private party. Yeah, only we can get crunk to Halloween 2. And we'll play all 3 different vinyls and just see what the sound
Compare
quality
them.
difference is. Yeah. Can you get better than the original? Probably not. I'll have that one. You can have the other 2.
The more volume we have, the better
You know,
they are.
one of
probably.
them, because one of them's coloured as well. It's like, purple and orange or
Oh my
something
god,
like
it
that.
must sound totally different then.
So it's going to completely change the sound and the tone of the soundtrack. Do you already remember 3, 4, 5, and 6 then too much? So you can't definitively say what is your favourite Halloween sequel. If I take out Halloween H20 and Halloween Resurrection, you've only got to pick between 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
No, I don't.
You don't know it well enough.
No.
Right.
If it's
Maybe
not
save
kung
that for next
fuing
year
and
then.
stuff, then
Would you
I don't want to know about it.
What do you think about... You said you would have kept the kung fuing in. So we already said, heat-proof skin, explosion-proof, right, bulletproof. By the way, bulletproof, the gun that Dr. Loomis gives to Jamie Lee Curtis in real life, if he had been shot in the head by that gun, it would have literally blown his head apart. Like, there'd be no more head left. So that's a pretty hard head that he's got there. So would have blown his head clean off. But as I said, skin-proof, heat-proof skin, right? All of this stuff. But he is susceptible still to kung fu. Is that like the kryptonite of Michael Myers? It's kung fu. Do you think it should be a staple that if you do bust out the kung fu, the martial arts against Michael Myers, because it's already been predetermined in the law of Halloween that you can't stand up to kung fu?
Okay, my question for you.
Because you've got to have one weakness.
Yeah, the Achilles heel is kung fu for Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a question for you then. We've got kung fu in Resurrection.
Yeah.
We've also got some kung fu in another sequel. Well, actually, it's a remake. The Wicker Man, where Nick Cage performs some
That's not kung fu.
kung fu fighting
That's
skills.
just him beating on women.
I don't know, when that crowd is trying to get him at the end, he's like, no!
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he is.
So who's
"You
better?
bitches!"
Nick Cage or Buster?
There's only one way to settle this. Fight!
Yeah.
Would you like to see that fight?
I would actually.
Nick Cage up against Michael Myers. That could be like a Mortal Kombat thing. They've already got Michael
against
Myers.
Michael Myers. I
on-
thought you were going to say against Buster Rhymes.
Oh, Buster Rhymes versus Nick Cage. Well, I'll take any of them. I'll take Michael Myers versus Nick Cage. I'll
Throw
take
in
Buster
some
Rhymes.
Jell-O.
What about LL Cool J versus Nick Cage?
I'd see that too.
Yeah, I'd see all of it. I have a tournament style, just enter all of them, and there can be only one,
Yeah.
like Highlander. So you can't definitively say what your favourite is, but we will be watching number 3 very shortly, and you must remember that 8 more days to Halloween. Halloween, yeah, you love that jingle, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure if I buy the vinyl to number 3, I'll get that. I'll just blast that.
Blast it.
Yes! Especially when it's only 8 more days to
God,
Halloween.
this neighbourhood's really gone downhill.
Yeah, well, because of my musical choices.
We should blast that on the 31st, when all the kids are going trick-or-treating. Like,
But
it's not 8 more days.
I don't want trick-or-treaters at my house.
Maybe that will scare them away.
That's why
Play it in reverse.
I act surly to the neighbourhood kids. Yeah, they won't come and bother me on Halloween. Is Halloween 2 part of your Halloween repertoire now, though, forever? We've seen Halloween this year. We've seen Halloween 2 this year.
You're ready to move on. It definitely
on.
gives a great Halloween-y vibe.
Because it's Halloween 2.
Which not many do.
Yeah. Despite its flaws, I do enjoy this film. I enjoy all Michael Myers films pretty much, except for the remakes.
Yeah.
It's part of your repertoire now. It's always been a part of my repertoire ever since I got over it as a youngster. I was like, okay, it can't be as good as Halloween, but I still accept it. And I went back round. I was like, yeah, number 2 is very good. It's worthy.
It's got all the
not an
pumpkins
abomination.
in it. It's got all the Halloween-y vibes.
It's got everything you want to see. It's got Michael Myers in it. Do you want to see Michael Myers? Technically is in number 3, but he's just on the television, so he's the movie within the movie. In this one, we got I think Dawn of the Dead is the movie within the movie. I do love
gonna get you,
a horror
Barbara.
movie in a movie. Yeah, now you know that quote. Ever since you've stepped into the realm of horror, you can now quote stuff. Congratulations. So let us know what your favourite Halloween movie is in the franchise, and please, for love of God, don't say like Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends.
I was going to say, surely just put the first one off limits, because you can't pick.
Yeah, first off limits.
The first one. You have to go with a sequel.
Great point.
Yeah.
Let's get this gown off you.